Hello everyone, my name is Kimberly Knighton and I am going to talk with you about Just Like Home Child Care Center for Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. I will explain a little bit about myself. I am a longtime and still current employee that has worked in multiple different departments from sterile supply, labor and delivery, and now as a business analyst in Piedmont Corporate. I am well aware of how the operations work here, as well as been a part of a lot of changes that has happened and how they treat their employees. So when I first started 10 years ago, I got pregnant with my first son and I did not have a driver's license, and I still don't. I have 4 kids now. And so when I first was choosing my child care provider, me and my husband were very limited in the choices we could choose. And this was due to the location, the pricing that we wanted, and the hours that we would need for someone to watch my children. At the time, I was working day shift from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m., so it was a long time during the day, and it was hard to find a child care center that was going to be flexible with those hours. And so our best benefit was to have an at-home babysitter. We ended up having kids fairly quickly. We had 3 kids under the age of 4, and so we were paying an at-home babysitter over $800 every 2 weeks. And that was absolutely fine for us because we were being provided the care that we needed for them, except I was not very excited about the lack of structured setting that a child care center could provide. And this is in relation to social interaction with other children. This is in relation to having a structured routine every day, and also being provided modern technology and different methods of teaching for today's pre-K and kindergarten curriculum preparation, which is again absolutely pertinent, being that today there are a lot more technology-based teaching methods for children. And so I really was not necessarily unhappy, but I was definitely looking for something else in my own circumstances, and that is what has made me be inspired to create this service for the employees of Piedmont Hospital. It is about balancing life and work circumstances, especially when you have children and you still want them to be provided that wonderful and safe care. So Just Like Home Center is exactly as it sounds. It is a safe, quality child care center that is adjacent to the hospital and is just for the employees. I am very, very passionate about this service for Piedmont Hospital. I think it'll bring an amazing benefit for the employees, and I think it'll actually increase retention as well as add revenue for the hospital. So the target employees for this particular center is really single and dual family homes that work full time and maybe have limited family members that would be able to watch children on a daily basis. And I'm seeing that more often when I did my primary research for this particular service, that a lot of the customers, they would have younger parents that would be the grandparents of their children, but because they're still working full time or they're traveling or doing other things, they still needed a child-based center. So another potential problem that customers that I have discovered when doing the primary research for this service is that the commute time in Atlanta, Georgia is extremely heavy. The traffic is one of the heaviest in the nation. So I know in particular with some of the employees that I've known before, they travel anywhere from a good 20 minutes to 45 minutes outside of Atlanta to get to Piedmont Hospital. So I am absolutely certain that having a child-based center right next to the hospital would be a big factor in bringing your child to our center, and again bringing that revenue that we're projecting. So I definitely think it is an absolute need that should be done for the hospital, and I think that the employees would absolutely love it. And the primary research does show that most of the employees, whether they had children or not, still think that it is an absolute service that would be beneficial to everyone, including the hospital, the community, and the employees themselves. So I wanted to change my attire while I discussed more about JLH Center. I am more than excited to say that all of our services for the Child Care Center is available for all employees, whether you're full-time, part-time, or PRN. Woohoo! And I say that because I have been all statuses with the hospital, so it's very exciting to know. The center will be open from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. at night, and in the initial phases, we wanted the center only to be open until about 7:30, but we received a lot of feedback from the employees stating that sometimes their shifts can overlap, and we didn't want any of those time restraints to coincide with the employees, so we extended that hour. Here are a couple of slides that are going to show the overall atmosphere, the design, and the colorful structures that are available at the JLH Center for the enrolled children and their families. We have indoor and outdoor playgrounds, and I am just so excited about the modern state-of-the-art design of these structures. It is just, I know it'll make the children so happy. There are full-time, part-time, and PRN packages that are payroll deducted. The full-time packages are $1,100. The part-time packages are $799, and the PRN packages are $400. We do have nighttime services. Again, that's a big woohoo! And it's because I am mostly a long-time nighttime employee for 6 years now, and I received a lot of feedback again during the stages of the research stating that they did not feel they would get to utilize the services as often as our day shift and our evening shift employees. So we wanted to create a service for them. So what JLH Center will do for the nighttime employees is if you have a child that needs care from 8 p.m. until 6 a.m. in the morning, we will have a travel sitter that will come and sit in your home in the safety and comfort of your home and watch your child at your house instead of having you travel out to our center. It is something that is definitely going to add to the competitive advantage and again, increase productivity and increase the sales projections that we want for JLH Center and the employees of the hospital. We want to match all of the levels, all shifts of the hospital. So definitely that is something we wanted to have. At the center, we are going to provide a school schedule for all of the enrolled children. We enroll children from 6 weeks of age until 10 years of age, and those school teachings will be involved with innovative modern technology to include tablets and computers and electronic programs that are educational that you may or may not have heard of, and they're customized for each of the age groups. We also have transportations to and from after-school programs as well as summer schools and field trips that we will have. Some of the field trips we will have will be to Children's Museum of Atlanta and Legoland that are shown here. Those are supposed to engage the engineering and the assembly portions and the senses that we want to support the mission to again develop those children socially, intellectually, and emotionally at our center. Something very exciting. We also will be celebrating monthly birthdays for the enrolled children. We will be providing a breakfast, lunch, and a snack for the enrolled children. So it's just something that I know that the parents will just really love and not have a problem bringing their child to our center. We want to foster those relationships. Our center will have an open door policy at all times. If you want to come and sit with your child, you can come, you cannot come. It is totally up to you. And there is no time constraints, whether it's from 12 in the morning until 12 at night. It is totally up to you. We promote that we ensure the safety and the quality care that we provide all the enrolled children here at the JLH Center. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about the competition. Now, our competition, we were a little worrisome in the beginning stages because there is a saturated child care centers in the state of Georgia. Here is a map of the saturation that I am discussing, but I'm going to follow up with the diagram that shows the percentage of single and two-parent homes that are actually utilizing the child-based centers today, and it is well over half. It is in a $58 billion industry, so it is something that we definitely want a piece of that pie. Our main competitors, we did not include other healthcare child-based centers because our employees would not be able to go to those centers. We are aware that it creates a competitive edge for our competition, so we want to match that factor in our own self in building the brand with Piedmont Hospital. So I definitely think that this is a great investment. Now, we have 4 local competitors within a 5 to 15 mile radius, and most of them definitely struggled in certain areas that coincided with the hospital employees, such as hours of operation. All of the centers were open from 7 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. The morning shift is too late for the employees of the hospital, and the evening shift is too early for the employees of the hospital, so that's very discouraging. Peachtree Christian Center, it is a $1 million facility and very highly rated on the intranet and their website. However, they do not have part-time packages. So if you need your child to only be enrolled for part-time hours, you would still pay full-time payments to this Christian center. That is very discouraging. And again, Bright Horizons Family Solutions, that is also a very highly rated center. They have full-time and part-time packages, but their full-time packages are $1,300 and their part-time packages are $950, a couple $100 of more than what we projected. And I think that that's definitely discouraging. And the location of Bright Horizons is within a very busy train station, and so the commute times and the in and outs of those busy sectors on Peachtree Center would definitely discourage enrolled parents from going to that center as well. Peter Pan and Cadazzle, they definitely scored a little bit better in the pricing areas. However, we did receive feedback on the intranet and other customers that the curriculum and the cleanliness and the atmosphere of the facility was not up to the expectations of the enrolled parents and their children there. Here is the projection of the competitive assessment table, and I'm going to display it in large form so you guys can get a look at it. Now, most of the competition scored in the very low 7s, some mid 7s, maybe one, I know it was Peter Pan Development Center, only due to pricing, scored in the mid 8s. However, we scored almost 9, and we plan on beating out the competition by main factors of pricing, the convenient location, and the customer service that is going to be provided for our customers here at JLH Center. The 4 main factors that we actually did the competition analysis on was on 4 main factors. It was split in percentages, and that is pricing, hours of operation and location, curriculum and the atmosphere, and the certification and the experience of the personnel there. Are they as passionate as we are at JLH Center as the staff is that I have built? And I'm very hopeful, and I know that our team is going to be an excellent support system for the hospital, and that is something very critical for a child care center. So I'm going to get into the financials. We are asking for a $2 million investment from a credible investor, and that is going to procure 35% ownership into the company, along with 15% that I will have and 50% from Piedmont Hospital. We have a net preset value right now of almost $8 million, and cash flows we expect to be almost $3 million by year 5. Here's the break-even analysis, and we plan on breaking even the first month of the second quarter. So very good numbers in collaboration with Piedmont Hospital, which is a multi-million-dollar company, which is, again, building that brand. We are at, and that $2 million is going to procure the leasing of the Sheffield building, the renovation of the building. It is going to procure the staffing, the teaching materials, as well as the equipment and the purchases of the facility. So that money will be stretched a very long way. I am very excited. This will be a profitable investment. I know it'll be an opportunistic investment. And I'm going to discuss the team that I know will be the great forefront for this business. I myself will be the general manager. I am a 10-year and still current employee of Piedmont Hospital. I'm well aware of how the operations work. I hold a master's in healthcare administration as well as a master in business administration. I am going to have the responsibility of doing the operations and the training of the personnel and the zoning and the state licensure requirements of the facility and the personnel that are working there. So I'm very confident that I will be a strong asset to the team. Here's our executive director, Mrs. Nina Bulkey. She has 15 years experience in social services with a focus of child care. She holds an MBA as well. She also has a master's in operations management, and she has experience in not-for-profit services. And her past duties have showed her strength in implementing a new business. She is going to be a very, very strong asset to this team. Here's the assistant manager, Angela Andrews. She also is a longtime employee of 12 years. She currently works in labor and delivery, so she's well aware of the needs of the child care center. She holds an associate's in early child care development, and she is pursuing her bachelor's in business and early child care development, and I will want her to assist me in handling the responsibilities of the operations and the financial projections for Ms. Bulkey. We have yet to decide a director of education due to the prestigious nature of this position. We want a lengthy and more personal interview panel with all the individuals that will be a part of the facility, including the advisory board that I'll discuss in a moment. We have narrowed it down to 2 individuals. However, we really are looking for the personal passion of really wanting to develop and foster the relationships of not only developing the children of the enrolled center, but also bridging the gap of building the productivity of the employees in their career and their family life. So we really have not yet discussed that person that is going to be hired yet. So finally, I'll discuss the advisory board, which is the same members as the staffing on our operations, as well as myself. But we also have Tevin J. Roberts. He is the head executive director of Head Start here in the state of Georgia, as well as Miss Tanya Thomas. She is the pre-K director for DeKalb County, state of Georgia. And I reached out to both of these individuals due to their broad range of skills in childcare, as well as her advocate and passion for launching childcare centers for the community, the state of Georgia, and I know that their strong skills and advice will actually give us much better structure and make our center more effective and efficient for Piedmont Hospital. So I invite the investors to please come and join me in building this business for Piedmont Hospital. It is going to be an amazing, profitable, and opportunistic adventure for everyone. Thank you.